in terms of whether you think this is something we have seen before. I mean, double-digit unemployment figures, I beg your pardon, especially for the key category of the working youth. Gender, as Rosa pointed out, has been battered really hard. In fact, if you look at, amongst urban women, it's actually down 23%, the number of women coming back into the workforce. Is this a passing shower? Would you agree?
I would actually say that despite, it's not about the proportion of the budget that is there in the entire economy. It's about what direction you give to through using your budget. So it's not about how much money public spending brings. It's also about how that money is being spent, and what are you trying to push? What are you trying to enable? And there I would say the kind of things that we are seeing, it's not about unprecedented. It's about that even if it's precedented, what you are facing is actually something very serious. And serious, it's not only, again, because of the size, but it's happening to whom? It's happening to those who are already were living in a most precarious, as Rosa said. So and that has become much worse. So in a very highly unequal, and not only economically, but also socially unequal society, when these things happen, then it has like inequalities within inequalities. And that's something we are seeing very clearly. See, data in terms of precision is yet to come, true. But data in terms of direction is very clear. And you can see it state after state, wherever you go to. Like I'm talking of also through our research, and it's like any kind of research that you do, when you are in the field, you sense what's happening. So what you can see, that there has been severe economic loss, employment loss. Much worse is income loss. Much worse is that is for women. Much worse for those who were already in precarious employment. And it's not about employment, it's the nature of employment also. Where is the social security? What you are saying is a flight from private schools out. So if you have to bring those kids back, if you have to bring those young women and men back in the fold of education, you have to invest in education. And it's again not about old school socialist idea. It's very much an economically sound idea. Look at Europe. Europe has thrived because of investment in public. The capitalist Europe has thrived because of investment in public education and public health. And I think it's time to do that, not only because of the well-being effect, but also because of the employment effect. We just have completed a multiplier-based study, very, very difficult input-output model and social matrix. And we found that income multiplier of public spending on health and education is not as much as manufacturing, and fair enough. I mean, that's a known thing. But employment multiplier is very high. And that's where you know that if you are spending on these public money, if it's being spent on this, in the short run, it will create employment, and it will also give money in the hands of those who are spending. Usual, I mean, this is something that a large number of economists are talking about. And that way, it will also create demand for your goods. What we are finding that, even those things which are being produced, for example, we were in Chhattisgarh last week. Mining, it hasn't suffered badly because of production loss, but it's suffering because of the demand loss. Power, it's suffering because of the loss in industrial demand. Domestic demand may have gone up. So so you have to pay attention to that. So you have to see the entire circular flow of the economy, keep the well-being in mind, keep the employment in mind, and keep the section which is at the lowest end in mind to decide what you spend in your budgets.